I told you at your house this was a homicide, a murder
investigation. You said she was
investigation.
deceased. You never said homicide.
I did. I told you. I said this type of investigation, a homicide.
This is 39-year-old Spencer Sanders, the man who stabbed his wife Blanca Sanders 17 times.
You're the last person that was with her when she was alive. I can tell you that. There's evidence at that scene that's going to indicate what happened. Who did this?
There's a footprint there. There's a fingerprint there.
On July 10th, 2018, police say Sanders and his wife were arguing, and he admitted to drinking that day. Surveillance video from a nearby store captured him leaving their home on 42nd Street at 4:25 p.m. Shortly after, at 4:41 p.m., he was involved in a car accident and hospitalized until the next day. When Blanca's daughter couldn't reach her mother, she went to the house, found it locked, and discovered Blanca lying face down in the kitchen in a pool of blood. Prosecutors presented evidence that Sanders left shoe prints in his wife's blood, and his semen was found on her body. 2 months before her death in May 2018, Spencer was arrested for an argument with Blanca. At the end of this interrogation, you will find out which sentence he received.
Alright, we had a chance to talk a little bit. I introduced myself, Adam Morningstar. I'm a detective with Sarasota Police. I think you've already met Dan Riley. He's also a detective. I want to start out by saying how very sorry I am for the loss of your wife.
Nobody's told me what's happened to her.
Well, that's what we're here to do. We want to talk with you because you knew her better than anybody, okay? And you're the first person we've had the opportunity to talk to, okay?
Okay.
You are not under arrest, but due to the seriousness of the investigation, I'm going to read you your Miranda rights, okay? You're not under arrest.
Should I have a lawyer present?
I've got to read you these rights because I want to make sure everything that's said is on the record, okay? Alright. Have you ever been read your rights before?
Yes.
When was that?
Right before I went into the courtroom.
For what?
Me and my wife, we got into an altercation. Well, not an altercation, it was more... I told Detective Riley,
He told me about it. You guys had a mix-up in a couple months ago.
The daughter called, but...
It's just a formality. I want to make sure you understand your rights before we talk, okay? Make sense?
Okay.
Did you have any problems understanding them when you read them last time?
No.
Okay.
I was talking to my sister, and she told me I should have a lawyer before I say anything.
Well,
I told her, I said that makes me look like I did something wrong, but she told me it's just to protect myself.
Well, let's get through this, okay? And, we'll get to all that. Right now, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol? Do you understand each of those rights I've read to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now?
I have nothing to hide. I just want to...
Perfect. No, perfect. You said you grew up here in Sarasota?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you grow up?
Newtown, 23rd Street.
You played ball for Riverview? Then went to college in Virginia? How long were you up in Virginia for?
3 days.
When did you meet your wife?
We met about 4.5 years ago.
And where were you when you met?
Well, the first time we actually saw each other was for my mom. I had just come back in town. I was in Maine. I was up there for a few weeks working. And I just came back in town and happened to see her. And I asked my mom who was that. And she's like, oh, she was cute.
Where was she at?
My mom delivers newspapers.
Did she work for the newspaper company as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
She did when we first got together.
Okay. She
quit after we got married.
You guys hit it off right away?
Yeah, we had fun. I at the time didn't know that she was still kind of with her ex. But not with her ex. And so you know, we moved kind of slow, and then at one point she just decided she just didn't want to do it anymore. You know, and then we started hanging out with each other, and then we moved on from there.
Now, when you say, you're saying you had some second thoughts about the relationship? Is that what you're saying? Or?
Well, no,
What do you mean?
we got married, and it was something where we had a couple of issues as far as just us not seeing things eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
And we, not that we weren't together, I didn't know that she was still involved, like, with her ex. And I thought, like, I didn't know that she was still, you know, dating him or still living with him.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of threw me off when, you know, we first get married and she didn't want to move in, and she did. And at first I felt like she was only marrying me for a green card. But
where's she from?
She's from Hungary.
Hungary?
Yeah, we were there last summer together.
Now, when did you guys get married?
2014.
2014. So pretty quickly after you met.
December 30th.
What's her ex-boyfriend? Or ex-boyfriend? Or ex-husband?
Ex-husband.
What's his name, do you know?
Laszlo Sikarain.
And where's he from?
He's from Hungary. They came here together.
But he's in here in Sarasota?
Sarasota.
Still? Or,
yeah.
Okay. You ever have any problems during the marriage, or?
With him or with her?
Man, let's start with him. You ever have any problems with him?
I didn't like how he would use the kids, you know, to make her feel bad, and any chance he could try to financially hurt her, he would, costing me more money. I thought he was being petty, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I never really liked that at all.
How would he financially hurt her?
Well, I mean, it came down to her son's in London, and her son needed some help. And keep in mind, me and her kids have never really gotten along at all. They kind of grew up in an area of the world where they don't see too many of this.
Mm.
You know, and I kind of got climbs, and I'm just like, you need to tell them about that. Like, that's not cool.
By who?
By my stepson, you know, and later on I got my daughter, stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter. How old were they when you guys met?
She was 17 or 18.
When you met?
Yeah.
Okay. And so they're what, 21, 22 years old now? Or?
Maybe 16, 17, because she turns 21 next year.
The daughter does?
Yeah.
Now is the son older or younger?
He's older.
Okay.
Did the wife ever call you the N-word?
She did one time, but it was after I had called her all types of words and cunts, so I kind of deserved it that time. You know, we were just arguing with each other.
When did that happen?
Oh, man. The last time it happened was like 4-something months ago. And then the daughter called me the N-word the day that she called the police on me, but it was
that when you got arrested?
The daughter called me that.
Is that the only time you've been in trouble?
No, I made some dumb choices in Massachusetts, you know, when I was younger.
What? Just give me an example.
I got caught with drugs in the car.
What kind of drugs?
Pot and cocaine.
Okay.
You know, and where I was at in Massachusetts, I'd seen the cops set people up. I'd literally seen them throw bags of weed in the car and say, look what we found here. I had switched cars with my girlfriend at the time, and they found something in the car, and the cop asked me, can he search the car? I said, sure, you know, because I didn't think there was anything in the car. And they found something in the car, and I thought it was being set up. So I resisted arrest a little bit, but...
What's a little bit?
Well, I mean, I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't punch any cops or didn't fight back. I just was like, no, you're not going to put me in handcuffs. Like, that's not mine. You know, I told her, why would I let you search the car if I knew I had something in there? like I'm not an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I've pretty much haven't been in any trouble my whole life.
Now, was that the only time in Massachusetts, or were there other things?
I got suspended. I got arrested the first time for driver's suspended license. I didn't know it was suspended. A buddy of mine used my information, and like on the ticket, he got like he put the information backwards when he said social.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm, driving through, and I see someone in like the crosswalk, and I didn't completely stop, and the cop was behind me, pulled me over, and I had an attitude, because I was just like running late for work. It's like, just keep my ticket so I can go. Didn't know my license was suspended. Went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I bonded myself out. I've never been in trouble.
Yeah. It's always been
minor things. Even in Massachusetts, when I got caught with that, I got 6 months probation.
Did they convict you as a felon for that, or they bumped it down to a misdemeanor, or what is the charge in Massachusetts?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I went through my probation and finished out my probation, and never been in trouble since until the situation with her.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't notice any Florida history.
No. I try not to get in trouble. I was raised by my dad, real strict military guy. Real religious, and so.
Okay. Were you living there at the house? What was it, 944 42nd Street? Were you living there with her?
That's where we moved there.
When did you move there?
Maybe December, January. This year. It was either December. Excuse me. Either December last year or January. I'm not sure.
Okay. Who moved in?
We moved in together.
Just the two of you?
Yeah, just the two of us.
Okay. Kids didn't stay with you?
No, the daughter would come over every now and then until, she called me. I thought it's like, really don't. That's not cool what your daughter did, calling the police on me for something I didn't deserve. I was wrong, I'm not going to lie. I should never, ever do that, but like I say, she hit me and called me her and slapped me many times. I had to call 911 on her. And I didn't want her to go to jail because she was trying to get back into the medical field. And I knew that if she had any form of assault charge, she'd never get to what she wanted.
This is a classic psychological deflection. He systematically minimizes his own victimization to project an image of stoic control and moral high ground. By emphasizing his mercy and restraint, he attempts to paint a picture of a patient, forgiving husband, conveniently sidestepping the underlying volatile and physically aggressive nature of their household. It is a subtle attempt to reframe as an act of love.
Now, who had keys to the apartment? This is kind of an important thing. Who had keys to the is it duplex, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who had keys to that unit?
Me, what I know of, just me and my wife and my stepdaughter.
Okay, just you, your wife, and your stepdaughter?
I don't know if she gave keys to anybody else, but I didn't even know my stepdaughter had a key until a few weeks ago.
Is there anyone else you can think of she would have given a key to?
Maybe her ex, or I remember we were talking, and the neighbor one time had this, this was after the situation when I got arrested. The neighbor kind of looked at me and said something, gave that look like, "Are you okay? Are you all right?"
To you?
And
to you, he did?
To her.
To her, okay.
Yeah. But other than that,
when is it's my understanding you stayed the night on the 9th. Were you spending every night there, or were you back and forth to your mom's place?
Back and forth.
Back and forth?
I mean, I feel like I should have a lawyer saying this because there's something that I have on me that I'm not supposed to. I had a no contact order, but after they didn't.
But she was inviting you over.
Yeah,
I
just don't want to.
No. I'm looking to jam you up over a no contact order, man. Believe me.
Okay.
The goal here is to find out what happened to your wife.
I mean, I pretty much was there almost every day. Like she didn't want me to go to jail the first time.
But since it's a domestic, they don't. Right.
She went down to the state attorney's office several times trying to get that lifted because she really wanted me in the house.
Now, when's the last time you stayed the night there?
The stay the night was the night of the accident.
So that'd been
We
Monday.
spent that night in the hospital. Here, let me pull the calendar so we can see. So you got in the accident on the 10th, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I can tell, you stayed the night in the hospital. You were in the ICU overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So are you telling me that you stayed the night on the 9th?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about that night.
I mean, I got out of work. I had to work. Some of my coworkers are just, it's kind of rude, they're not really, we're busy and there's 3 computers and it's hot as hell outside, so we're trying to use the 2 that are inside.
Mm-hmm.
And they just sat there, I got out like around 11:30, 12. I just bitched to her about my day, ranted to her.
Mm-hmm.
We ate some food, watched a little bit of TV, got tired, did what adults do,
What does that mean? I know what that means, but we can't.
Had sex.
Yeah. Okay.
We had sex. We were feeling kind of friendly. I went to bed feeling good. I'll just say that we went to bed and had a good time.
Because of the drinking, because of the sex, just had a good time, all of it.
Well, I went to the store to get a bottle, and we had plans. We were going to spend the day together, going like a day trip. So I said, let's just enjoy the night. I had to work. I was like, I don't want to go out drinking by myself because I could be out, till 4 or 5 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought the alcohol. We went to the store, bought the alcohol, came back to the house, and we just sat there and chilled, and then we had our sex, and we went to bed feeling good, and I tried to lay down next to her, but it's like she had restless legs were kicking in, and she was snoring loud, and she was like in my arms, so I said, all right, I'll just get up, go on the couch.
Okay.
And I tried to sit on the couch a little bit, and couldn't go to sleep there, so I got up, just went for a drive. And I go for the drive. I go to the dog park.
Where they race there?
No, not the dog track. It's a dog park on Sapphire Shores.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You went there. What time did you go there?
I don't remember what it was. It had to be sometime close to sunlight because it wasn't dark, but it wasn't light.
So on the morning of the 10th, you leave at sunrise, basically, to go to the dog park. Okay. But everything was good when you left?
Everything was good. And then I sat there for a while, just relaxing, ended up falling asleep, and then got all these texts, and that's when you could see, the argument was happening, just damn.
Texts from?
Texts from her.
From her? Okay.
Yeah, they're all on my phone. She was mad that I left, and she was just upset, and I came home, I came home and lay down, and then she started arguing with me. It's like, look, I don't want to go through this right now. So I just left again. And that's when I started drinking.
And what time did you go back there?
I don't remember.
On the 10th, you're saying?
I don't. After I came home from the dog park, I went and lay down. It was maybe. It was light out. It was. I don't know. My phone could help me because she texted me.
So, just real quick, you go to the dog park. How long do you think you spent in the dog park?
It could have been 2 hours, 3 hours.
Okay, and then do you go straight back home, or do you do other things? When do you go back home?
I went back home.
So you went back home around, what, 11? You would say 11, 12?
I wouldn't say that late.
So earlier so in the morning?
Yeah, it was still kind of in the morning time.
Okay.
Because I remember after I left her, I went and the arguing and everything. After I left, I remember going to get a drink, and I just got like a little couple nips from the little liquor store not too far from my house.
After you left that second time, you're saying? So you left in the morning, went to the dog park, then came back. She was upset then?
She was upset.
What was she upset about?
Because she woke up when I wasn't there, and I didn't even note her anything, and the last thing she remembers that I was next to her in bed.
She suspicious of you? Cause
she
running around?
She does that every now and then. I told her this is my hometown. I know a lot of people, and I don't forget faces. You know, I recognize people that I was in second grade with.
Yeah.
You know,
Newtown's a small community.
You know, then I went to school at Riviera, so it was something where she was a jealous person. I was a jealous guy. You know, I would sit there if I see you talking too long to a guy, I'm like, yo, who's that? But that's natural. I mean, I would say she questioned any woman in my life because she never knew who they were. You know, if I came home talking about one of my coworkers, like my boss Angelica, she saw Angelica and realizing me and Angelica had known each other for a long time, and I was like, Angelica's married. Like, she's married. Like, I just known her. She got me the job. My friends got me the job there. It's just like, it's, you know, it's not.
So she was upset because you had left. So I presume to avoid an argument, you leave again, you're saying?
Yeah, you guys are asking a lot but not giving me anything in return.
We got to get there, okay?
Okay.
I want to go step by step through, you know what I mean? We got to get there. We will get there, I promise you, okay? So you leave again, you said you got a drink?
Yeah, a couple of little nips.
You know where you went to get, did you go buy it at a store? Or?
Yeah, I went to Memories, that little bar that's there, and I went there. And they like, I've done this a couple of times where, you know, out with my friends, and I'll go buy a small nip, and then we may go to a bar, and when we get home, I'll stop by and buy another nip. So they were used to seeing me all the time.
Okay. And then what happens? How's the rest of your day go?
I go back to the dog park and just sit there, and I like sat there for a little while and just drove around, you know. I drank a little bit. Just trying to clear my head because I realize it's now, you know, sunlight. We were supposed to leave at like 8, 9 in the morning. You know, it's past that time. The day's ruined. Like, damn, we got to do it. You know, and I went by my mom's house, and I actually saw my mom leaving as I was going toward her house. And
are you in the white Nissan? The white Nissan? You were driving that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
And then I went back by the house because I saw that she was talking about her little wallet and everything, and it's like, all right, I'm going to give you your wallet. You know, I don't want to deal with this. You know, it's just like, I don't need your money. I just got out of work. And so I went back to the house, gave her a wallet. You know, she yelled at me, it's like, I'm not going through this, I'm sorry. And I left again. And then I left there, and I was headed back toward like the dog park again. And that's when I got into the car accident. The next thing you know, I wake up and I got people looking down on me. I can barely move my leg. You know, I got bandages everywhere. They just took the bandages off my head.
What'd they tell you? As far as what's wrong? Any broken bones? Or?
I fractured the lower vertebrae in my spine, but it's not why my hips hurting.
What happened? Do you remember?
All I remember is I was looking down, trying to get my phone and a lighter, and I'm doing too much in the car. My hand slipped off the wheel, and then I hit something. They told me I hit another driver.
Did you see that other driver? No. Okay.
Apparently they told me that I climbed out of the car don't remember any of that.
Okay. All right. When you took her wallet back, talk to me about how that went.
No, I just took her wallet back and gave it to her. You know, just like, here you go.
Do you remember about what time that was?
No.
Afternoon or just, nighttime?
It wasn't nighttime because I was in the hospital in nighttime.
How much long? Okay, so this is a better question, I guess. How much longer after that did you get into the crash? Kind of, I'm trying to find points where we can, figure out these times of.
I don't know.
Did you get in the crash shortly after leaving, or was it sometime before? Or?
It was maybe shortly after, or I don't know how much time had passed, but like I said, I'd been drinking, and the last thing I wanted to do was argue with her again, and just, at that point, I know that she was pissed.
Sure.
And...
Was she mad that you had her wallet, or more mad that you were ignoring her, or what was she?
More mad at me ignoring her.
Yeah.
And I've seen what happens when I've done that before. She's not nice. She was mean.
Did she get violent?
She did sometimes. Well, not violent though. Nothing I couldn't take. She'd slap me a couple of times and punch me in my face because she was pissed, and I said, "Get it out of your system. You find out."
This rationalization reveals a disturbing psychological framework where violence is repackaged as a cathartic release for his spouse's frustration. By describing battery with such clinical detachment, he desensitizes the audience to the aggression in their marriage. This emotional compartmentalization serves a dual purpose. It distances him from any potential escalation of violence, while simultaneously allowing him to claim he was entirely passive, even as he admits to existing in an environment of routine domestic chaos.
Some of it I understood. Like I said, the one time she was going too far, I was just like, you need to stop. And that's when I called 911. And...
When was this?
Maybe 5 months ago.
Okay.
4 or 5 months ago. It was
shortly after you moved in then.
Yeah. After we had moved in, I had stayed out drinking kind of late. She got mad at me and changed the locks on me. And, so I go to the house, I can't get in, try and use my key, and I'm just like, it's like I'm on the lease. It's just like, you can't lock me out of the house. So I called the police. And it's like, hey, she won't let me in the house. It's like, it's 12 o'clock. I'm not trying to be a big black guy banging on the door. It's like, these are things I know, I've seen it too many times, not every situation, but like I said, I didn't want to do that, and so she sat there, and the police let me back. The police let me in and said, man, you gotta, give them a copy of the key, and then this chair, it's just hard to sit up like this for too long. Other than that, it's...
When you showed up, you come back with the intention of giving her her wallet back, or?
Yeah, I'm not trying to keep her wallet.
Why did you have it, I guess?
Well, we were supposed to go somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And, she just left everything in the car. The plan was she was supposed to, we had figured out, what bills we needed to pay before we go on this trip.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to go to the bank and go through everything and do this, take care of our errands and then go do that.
So when you show up with the car in park, I want to go through it step by step, okay? Put the car in park and you walk up to the front door. Is the door locked or unlocked? Do you remember?
I couldn't remember. It's one of those things where it couldn't have been open. I still put my key in and unlock it every time.
Did you do that though?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you walk in, where is she standing, or sitting, or laying, or where is she?
She heard me. She was in the room, and she heard me come in the house, and then she came out from behind the room and started yelling and arguing.
What room did she come out of?
The bedroom.
Okay. There's only one bedroom with a bed in it in that house, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So she came out. What was she saying?
And you ruined the day. Where you going? I thought we were trying to work on things, and at that point, it's just like, and you just don't want to have to argue back and forth and deal with this. So I just left it there. Like, you know what? I don't have time for this. The days where I can't save the day. There's nothing I can do.
What room did that argument take place in?
Not a room, because it's more like they're right before the bedroom.
Okay. There's the bathroom. Is that the bathroom off to the left? And then
Yeah.
So you walk in, the kitchen's to the left.
Mm-hmm.
That next room is a bathroom, or what is that?
So if you walk in, the kitchen's there.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the bathroom, then our room, and then just a spare room.
Guest room. Yeah. Living room. So you're saying the argument took place where in the house?
Well, like I said, it wasn't much of an argument. It was just her yelling at me, and me just more like, I'm not going through this. Bye.
Okay. And did you have the wallet with you at that time?
I thought I put the wallet. I came in and I put the wallet on the counter, and I'm walking toward the room, so I heard her come in, and that's when she's saying, "What'd you do?" and all that. And then, like, we're sitting in there, and I'm just, we're about the same distance. It's like, look, this isn't gonna solve anything. I don't have time for this. And like I said, I was drunk,
mm-hmm.
And she apparently, from talking to my mom, she was talking to my mom, and she was just telling my mom apparently how much she, was mad at me and upset, and I've had an issue with her bringing my mom into it, because I've always told her this is our marriage. You don't have to go to my mother, go to my father, go to these people, this is our marriage, I'd rather handle it between us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need the world knowing everything.
That's understandable.
But I say it wasn't anything where, like, it was a yelling match or us going back and forth. No, it was just like, what, forget this. I don't have time for this. I'm not going to sit here and have you just yell at me all day and do what she does when she gets mad, which is she always tries to threaten me and kick me out. It's just, after everything we've gone through, that's the last thing I want.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though that she's contacted me, she technically has the right, to.
Sure.
But like I said, I'm not gonna argue with you like that, so I'll just leave until you calm down.
So you didn't argue with her?
Not like yelling back and forth, no.
You just basically told her you're not having it, and
no, just like, let me go, leave me alone.
Sounds like, pardon me, it sounds like you left pretty quick. How long do you think you were there before you just turned around and left?
It couldn't have been, I'm sorry. I wasn't there long.
5 minutes?
If that.
5 minutes or less?
Probably.
Okay.
What was she wearing when you were there?
I don't remember.
Was she fully dressed, or?
Well, yeah, she's dressed. I mean, we don't walk around the house naked. I mean, some days she just wear like a big shirt and thong. Other days she may just wear, like, she used to have this little pink dress. It was kind of like tie-dye.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife was kind of like a creature of habit. There was 3 or 4 things that she would always wear around the house. She didn't care what condition her body was in, if she was sweaty or dirty, And so she was kind of like a creature of habit that way. It was just, I don't know, maybe black pants and a white shirt or something.
Black pants and white shirt.
I think so. But I know she didn't have the dress on. I just remember what she had on before we went to bed. Because she came and picked me up from work. She had errands and things she had to run, and we were down to one car. But,
You okay?
No, it's getting in a car accident and getting out, finding my wife isn't there, and not knowing what happened to her, nobody telling me anything. It's starting to get to me. That's all. That's why I just want to know what happened. Because the last thing I did with my wife was we argued. I can't get that moment back and tell her that I love her. I just want to know what happened to my wife, and I'm in pain and I'm hurting, but I don't care about myself. I care about my wife.
Did you lose your temper when you were arguing with her?
No. I never. I lose my temper, and it wasn't even me losing my temper. It was me just trying to refrain her from hitting me, and that was the day I went to jail.
I'm talking about yesterday.
No.
Before the crash. You didn't lose your temper during that argument?
No, not at all.
So, walk me through. You said you were there less than 5 minutes.
Like I say, if that.
Okay. And when you leave, walk me through that. How is she? How are you? Just kind of set the picture for me.
She's pissed. She's crying. And I close the door, and she opens up, don't come back, and it's just like saying, I'm gonna deal with you right now. Because she says things sometimes and she doesn't mean them. She's screamed out many times she wants a divorce, but we're still married.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove off, and I go to places to think sometimes, the dog park, the water tower park, or 47th Street. And a lot of times I go to places that meant something to us. Like one of our very first dates was at the water tower park. And that's where we just sat there and we just talked about things. Depending on where I go, sometimes I go to Marina Jack. That's where we kind of worked and talked on things about how we're going to go forward in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my wife weren't perfect. We weren't.
No one is.
But I love my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, if you look at my phone, you can see that I was looking for day trips for me and my wife. I wanted this to work. I wanted us to be happy. Like, we went to Hungary for 2 months last summer.
Mm-hmm.
And in those 2 months, it was something where me and her were completely happy. We had no influences from...
You're outside the grind.
It was just me and her. I got to meet my mother-in-law. And we had talked about eventually moving there one day. My wife is my future. My wife is my rock.
So, she followed you out the door?
No, she didn't.
No?
She didn't follow me out the door. Go to the car. She set the door open. Yeah, and I just drove off.
Where was she at when you drove off?
She already went back inside.
Door was closed, or?
I don't know. I mean, she closed the door, but I don't know if she... Like, that door is funny. You can close it, and closing it not lock. And if you, like any other door, you open the door, another room, it makes the door come open.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember.
Okay. Then where do you go?
I was on my way to the dog park.
Back to the dog park? And then what happened?
The crash.
Okay.
So before you left the house, you didn't go back in and argue with her further? You know, we talked initially. My understanding was that when you left that morning, at 6 or 6 sunrise, that you didn't go back at all. I didn't know.
No, I told you that.
Okay. Well, that's not what I remember. When you went back to take her wallet back, you say they were there only 5 minutes. Could it have been longer?
I don't have any concept of time. You know, I don't have a watch. You know, I'm not looking at concepts of time. You know, I don't even know that I pulled myself out of the car. You know, someone told me I did that.
I think you said you were drinking. Remember how much you had to drink?
No.
Remember what you were drinking?
Whiskey.
How much?
I couldn't tell you. Like, I don't...
Does she complain about you drinking?
She complains about me drinking alone. We are fine if we drink together.
I got you. Okay, so you go to the hospital. You're, how long are you in the hospital for?
Literally, I got out today. Like, I gave them my discharge papers and they never gave them back.
So about a full day, it sounds like. Okay. What happened when you got out?
I asked my mom, she's like, where you want to go? I said, well, I tried to call her, she ain't picking the phone up. You know, she's not responding to me. And then my mom said that, well, let's just go by. You know, I just think because she's not responding to her either. And so we get there, and she's like, you want to go to the door? I was just like, if she's going to argue with me, no, I don't want to go to the door. I said, then two, knock on the door and see if she's there. Because I'm not going to get out the car on the walker, go knock on the door. And if she's not there, then I got to walk back and get in the car. And this was my first time moving. Like, that day, they had a physical therapist come by. And first one came by just to see how much pain I was in. The second one came by to see if I can get up on the walker. Walked me like 4 or 5 steps, and that was it. That's the only movement I've done. You know, so I'm not trying to do any extra movement now. You know, and I told her just like, knock on the door. You know, if she's there, you know, I'll go here. Because I wanted her to take care of me. She's a former RN. You know, if anyone could take care of me and actually not just be like, oh, you shouldn't have did this. You wouldn't be in this pain. And like, anytime my wife, she took me to the hospital for my sciatic nerve when I acted up. But like, she carried me to the door and carried me to the wheelchair.
So your mom went and knocked on the door?
Yep, she went and knocked on the door. She said the dog was barking. And then I said, well, if the dog's barking, she's either at work or she's not home right now. You know, and knock on the door again. She knocked on the door. She started doing me to see if it's open. I was like, yeah, but it's probably not, you know. It's like, if she was home alone, she ain't gonna leave that door open, you know.
Was it?
No, it wasn't. It was locked.
Where was your key?
I don't know where my keys are. Like, I have no idea where my keys are. My car is a push-start car. So, for me to get into my car and start my car, my keys have to be inside the car.
Okay.
So, my keys are probably somewhere with my car.
Is it possible they went to the impound lot with your car?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, because I couldn't drive off in my car if I didn't have my keys. Like, my car will beep and let me know, beep, 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 you're so many feet away from your key.
Okay, so there's no answer. You don't know where your keys are at. What do you and your mom do?
Just go back to her house.
And then what happens?
I lay down and then I get up a little bit, try to stretch out. You know, I'm confined. I can't be mad because I'm confined because it's the only place I could go at the time. But I don't have a key, I can't get in. She didn't respond to me. And so
I'm sorry not to cut you off. So when your mom didn't get an answer to the door and she went back to the car, did she express any concern to you about her not coming to the door, that being pretty unusual, for her not responding to at least your mom?
yeah, she did. That's why we went by the house.
But I mean, even after you go to the house now, your mom knocks, the dog's barking, all right? Like, there's no answer. Did she come back and talk to you about something she didn't feel right about what was going on, like something might be wrong?
Yeah, she said to me, because I asked her when I first got in the car, she's like, where you going? It's like, well, Blanca has responded. You talked to her? Right. She said, no, she hadn't responded to me. Like, my mom even took my phone and said, call me, and tried to get her to contact. She didn't contact them. My mom's had my phone since I was in the hospital. I didn't get my phone until my mom dropped it off to me sometime, maybe a couple hours.
Is it unusual for her not to answer? She seems like she texts a lot.
Yeah, but if she was mad at me, she wouldn't answer me.
Okay.
But she always answered my mom.
But she didn't this time. When you, just to back you up a little bit, when you got out of the hospital, how'd they arrange for someone to come pick you up? Did you ask for your mom to come pick you up?
Yeah, because me and my wife shared a car. How's she gonna come pick me up if the car is totaled?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I had my mom come, and with my wife not responding to me, I'm not going to go to the house if she don't want me there.
And what do you mean not responding to you?
She didn't. I called, left messages. I tried to tell her that, hey, I'm out.
When is this?
This is at some point today when I finally came to.
In the hospital or?
Right, in the hospital.
From your phone or from the hospital phone?
From my phone.
From your phone?
Yeah, I tried to call her and I got no response. Like I say, I'm thinking she's mad at me. You know, so me thinking now, it's like, well, I'm not going to sit there and go there if she don't want me there, because I'm not in a position where I can be like, you know what, I'm not going to be here and get up and just walk away.
But is she the kind to hold a grudge to where if she saw you as banged up as you are, that she'd still be mad at you?
She called the police on me one time, and me and her talked about this. You know, we talked about it. She was mad at me, and I told her, she had the car at the time, and I told her, like, look, I need a ride to work, and it was her car. And we were arguing, and she was upset at me, and she didn't want to take me to work. I was like, look, this is how we're going to get out of this house. This is how we're supposed to move on. It's like, you don't make much money. I'm the only one working. But I don't think she would hold a grudge like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like your parents. You know, if
sure,
they're mad at you, but once they see you okay, they're still mad, but they're just happy you're okay. But she's not answering my calls.
Right.
You know, and I don't have my keys. You know, so I can't get in. So all I do is go to my mom's house.
What kind of dog do you guys have?
We had a little Yorkie.
Little Yorkie. Does he bark a lot?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
At strangers?
I could be in the house and put my alarm off on my car, and the dog would start barking. She would just hear the sound and just start barking. I mean, we would leave the house and we try to control the barking. Because technically we weren't supposed to have pets. So we would leave the the TV on, so the dog wouldn't bark at every noise a dog heard.
Right.
Because that street there, we were just trying to
excuse me.
We were just trying to find a place to not live in my mom's house.
Yeah.
You know, and we found the first affordable thing and we jumped on it. We didn't realize that street wasn't the best of streets.
Yeah, it's a busy street there.
Yeah, busy in the wrong way though.
Correct.
Yeah. And so we kind of didn't realize that, but the dog would bark at anything. Like, you see people coming from the park, and they'd be walking, and they'd go to the store, and the dog would just bark.
How'd you find out that she had been killed? That's the first time you found out?
I mean, I had to assume they wouldn't tell me when I asked them over the phone. When I asked them there, you could only think the worst. I mean, I watch enough shows, on TV where the only time they want to tell you things in person when it's that bad. And that's why I kept asking for what happened to my wife, because if they won't tell me on the phone that something happened to my wife.
You give us a minute.
Sure.
All right. Need some more water?
How you holding up?
Appreciate you bearing with us. I know you're hurting. We took a minute to look over our notes. I don't understand why you told Detective Lovio and Detective Riley that you saw her at 6:30 that morning when you went to the dog park, and you never saw her again the rest of that day.
I never told them that.
No, it's recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's recorded.
That's what you told us. That was a pretty big deal. That's what kind of caught me. That's why I asked you about it before. And then you said you kind of went back and gave her
I told you, if you got that recorded, then you got recorded that I told you I gave her the wallet back.
Yeah. No, that she wanted her wallet. That was all the text, but you weren't going to go because you didn't want to have this argument with her.
I'd like to hear it.
I don't have the recording right now on me.
See,
but
now I've tried to be cooperative.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
The way
you're a good dude, okay? I know you are. I can tell from talking to you, okay? There is evidence at that scene that's going to implicate somebody, okay?
I'm hoping
we
so.
are going to find out who did this.
I hope so, but you making me feel like I'm a suspect.
Did you lose your temper with her when you were arguing with her about that?
No, I've said that several times to you. No, like, if you look at the track history of us, just because you have one event.
No, and I'm not basing it on that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing.
I didn't lose my temper.
I'm not trying to paint a bad picture of you. Okay?
I didn't lose my temper.
I know you had been drinking, and I'm married. Okay, I know that women can get under a man's skin.
I had been drinking the night when I was smart enough to call the police so I can get into the front door. I don't lose my temper with women. I'm not that type of dude.
But listen, let me ask you this, because you said you were there less than 5 minutes, right? Because she was behaving a certain way and you weren't having any of it. Less than 5 minutes you left. I can tell you it was a lot longer than 5 minutes that you were there. Could it have been?
I don't remember, sir.
Well, that's a pretty big difference, less than 5 minutes and let's say 25 minutes. That's a pretty big disparity in time, right? Time enough to have an argument, right? And things to go south. Is that what happened? Because being there less than 5 minutes, I can tell you you were there longer than that.
Are you for real right now?
I'm for real.
Here we witness the cognitive collapse of his constructed story. His defensive posture shifts sharply from cooperative to accusatory. He starts demanding proof. This visceral reaction reveals cognitive dissonance in real time. His own memory is failing under the weight of forensic evidence, and he shifts from trying to explain to trying to survive the questioning.
We're just trying to figure out what happened to your wife. And like Detective Morningstar is telling you here, that there's evidence at that scene that's going to indicate What happened?
There's
Who did this?
There's a footprint there. There's a fingerprint there.
Could be fingerprints there. My fingerprints are all over.
But in her blood? In her blood?
That's not me, sir.
Should your fingerprint be in her blood?
I don't even know what you're talking about. You're not giving me any information.
I can't.
Can I please send my phone
that.
to call a lawyer? Because you guys are making me feel like I did something I didn't do. And if you told me you read me my rights, I do have the right to call a lawyer.
You do.
I mean, the way you coming at me, sir, trying to make me feel like I'm lying to you on something.
Well, there's some disparities that you talked about, because I talked to you initially, okay? And leaving out that part, you're saying you told us, and I can tell you, you didn't tell us that you went back that afternoon and gave her wallet back. That was never talked about. You never mentioned that. You left when the sun came up, and you didn't go back because you didn't want to deal with her, because you know she was pissed off at you, because she doesn't like it when you drink, and maybe you hang with the wrong crowd, etc. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember saying that to you.
So listen, what we're trying to figure out is who killed her, right? And
so she was killed.
Yes. I told you.
That's the reason why detectives are
here. I told you at your house this was a homicide, a murder investigation. You said she was
deceased. You never said homicide.
I did. I told you. I said this type of investigation, a homicide investigation. This is a big. We didn't want to tell you over the phone, okay, about what happened to your wife as far as her being deceased. We wanted to meet you face to face.
Then when you met me, you just said she was deceased, so you wouldn't tell me anything.
I told you this was a homicide investigation. You've heard homicide, right? Like you said,
homicide.
Sir, I remember that. Absolutely.
All I said to you was I kept asking. I called your partner's phone 3 times after you called me trying to figure out what happened.
We were on our way to you from the scene straight away as soon as we talked to you. And I told you the importance of the investigation. Everybody is considered a suspect. I told you that. You remember that? You remember me telling me that?
Yeah, I remember you telling me that, but
so to sit here and tell me, so don't act. Listen, I would not pull punches with you on this. This is an extremely big issue. All right, I'm not going to be playing games with someone's life. All right.
Neither am I. It was my wife, sir.
And you
get that. But what we're trying to explain to you is there's a lot of evidence at this scene. You were there in a very close time frame that we last know that she was alive.
When I left the house, she was alive, officer.
Okay. You said when you left and went to the dog park that you didn't lock the door, right? She was standing in the doorway or shut the door or whatever. Right?
I closed the door and she opened the door and started yelling at me, and then I left and she closed the door.
The problem is that house was locked up tight.
I'm just trying to figure out who would kill her and then lock the door on the way out. And we know only you have keys. The stepdaughter, your stepdaughter, her daughter has keys, and she had keys, right? So we're just trying to put that together. So do you see why we're probably having some direct questions with you here? And sorry, but this is what we do. We're going to ask you hard questions.
I understand that, sir.
But and in the statistics,
the house is locked up tight, but many times where she locked herself out of the house.
Well, she didn't do that this time.
But she would
So
always,
what is that? I don't understand.
She would leave a window open so she could climb through the window.
We checked it. Windows are all locked.
House is locked up tight.
Locked up.
Deadbolt activated.
House is locked
her daughter's the one that found her, so that eliminates one key.
Okay. The house is locked up tight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She can't lock the deadbolt with her keys from the outside.
You can lock the back door without.
What about the front door?
What do you mean? What about the front door?
What about the front door?
I don't know about the front door, sir. I told you I left the house.
Listen, did something happen? Did you guys have an argument? Did something go south?
I'm telling you, sir, nothing went south.
Did she come after you and you had to defend yourself? Or you felt you had to defend yourself?
No, she didn't come after me.
She start that tirade where she's calling you that nasty forbidden word and it just went south?
She didn't know. She didn't. She didn't just sit there and start the tirade where I felt the need to do something.
Listen, everybody we've talked to so far, including your mom, okay, she didn't have any beefs with nobody. Nobody's out to get her. You know what I mean? You're the last person that was with her when she was alive. I can tell you that.
And your mom thought it was extremely odd that when she notified her that you'd been in a crash, that she didn't respond. And you yourself already said that she'd have let bygones be bygones if she knew you were hurt.
Yes. Do you see what does that make sense right now, sir?
No, that's why I need you. I wasn't there. That's why I need you to make sense of it.
I've done everything I can. I've said everything I could. Even when my mom told me that, I said, well, let's just go by the house. I told my mom to get out of the car because I didn't want to get out of the car and move.
Right, that's what I have trouble wrapping my head around.
I have a feeling.
As a husband, here, I'm just trying to figure this out. So think about this. You love your wife.
Yes, I do.
That. I believe you when you say that, okay? It's very unusual. She might not answer you because she's pissed, right? But she always answers your mom.
Yes.
Even your mom says that, but she doesn't. You go to the house, mom knocks, no answer. Did you ever consider we need to maybe call the police, see if she's hurt in there, something's going on?
I told my mom she could be at work.
Did you say, hey mom, call work, see if she's
drive by
there,
work?
let's make sure she's okay?
She works at a healthcare place where she goes out and they send her out
Listen,
places.
Man, if I couldn't get a hold of my wife, I don't care where she works. I'm going to call them and say, hey, listen, I had an accident. It's important. Can you get a message to my wife?
Did you look at my phone, sir? Did you see that I tried to call her? Did you see the times I tried to call her?
When you were at her house and she didn't answer, why didn't you reach out if you thought she could have been at work and say, hey, I had an accident. It's an emergency. I need to talk to my wife, and I need to make sure she's okay because she's not answering her phones right now. Not just to me, but to my mom.
Do you know my wife has blocked me before when I tried to call her?
But she didn't this time.
So that doesn't have anything to do. She didn't answer your mom either. That's what the unusual thing is.
I'm trying to tell you. I told my mom this. I said she's blocked me before. And just like,
mom.
And I told my mom, I said, you know what, just knock on the door. And my mom said the dog's there. All right, well, if she doesn't answer, then she's probably at work or she could be off with her daughter. And then I said, I may try and contact her later on. I said, right now, I just want to go lay down.
Do you know the statistics for domestic partners getting killed? Do you know the statistics of...
They always try and say it's someone that you know, or it's that
It's
person.
not always trying to say. It's damn near certainty. I mean, it's such a high percentage, it's damn near certainty. And we have evidence in this one that, even the person who lives in the house won't be able to explain away.
Nobody's trying to say anything, but it's real important. That's why we're asking you direct questions right now, okay? Because there is
I've tried
evidence,
to answer
you know what I mean?
question.
And as he's telling you, this is statistical data, not just the police trying to say, okay? Because we don't operate that way. We'd be delivering pizza for a living if we tried to say and that made our cases. It doesn't work that way. What I want is who killed your wife.
That's what I want, officer.
Okay. And you didn't kill her?
No, I didn't. But you guys are coming at me.
You didn't have an argument with her when you went back at 4 o'clock? You didn't have that argument and it went south?
How did I go
And that's
back?
something that you didn't tell us about the first time. That you never went back there at all. That I struggle with, man. I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
You're giving me a time frame or something where...
Yeah, because...
I didn't say anything about time.
No, I'm saying.
No, we know. That's because we know some answers already. We already put some of these puzzle pieces together.
Okay, well, these puzzle pieces, some of these I don't know. I've given you everything that I can.
I know.
Yeah. I believe you've given us everything you can. Because what happens if you give us all of it?
Come on, man.
You didn't kill her.
I ain't killed my wife.
And I know why you didn't want to go to that door. You're saying it's because you were hurt and everything, but I'll tell you what, if I got in an accident and got hurt, I wouldn't want to go sit in my mom's house. I want to be in my bed.
And how am I going to get into my bed? I don't have my key and she's not answering the door.
But you didn't even go to the door to knock and see.
That's why I sent my mom to the door.
Why?
Because
I know why you sent her. But do
You're
know,
trying to tell me
why?
something of why I know. I sent my mom to that door because I did not want to get out of the car. I'm in pain. As little movement as possible. I jumped up.
I think it's more than that. I'll be straight up with you. I think it's more than that.
This is why I like the lawyer, because y'all trying to...
You can have...
Right.
You can have...
Listen, don't say anything else, because you've asked for a lawyer. We'll take that as an invocation.
I've said it 3 times, you know.
So listen,
I even tried to cooperate with y'all asking me
questions.
you
know what?
And like you telling me...
And we do appreciate you coming down.
Listen to me. I hope that we're wrong.
I do too.
We're going to ask hard questions. That's our job.
I understand that, so I've got friends.
Can I sit here and definitively say that you're the killer? No, I sure can't. And I hope to God that you as the husband didn't kill your wife. I hope that I'm dead wrong. But I'm not going to apologize.
This reveals a man acutely aware of societal perceptions and unchecked rage. Yet, in that calm, controlled denial, he inadvertently admits that the word is immensely powerful. He argues he is above it, but the detective's probe deliberately targets the intersection of alcohol, humiliation, and racism, the exact psychological pressure point where rational control can shatter. It is the ultimate test of composure, and he walks a razor's edge.
We're coming at you this way, because this is what we do. And you know what? Be happy. If you're not the killer, be happy that you have detectives that are going to go after the person who did kill your wife, because that's what we do. But understand this. There's evidence at that scene, okay? And pretty soon we're going to be putting that together. Okay? So, you're the last person seen with her.
I understand what you're trying to say.
And it was an argument.
I understand that, and I understand you guys.
Put yourself in our shoes. If you're the investigator who's sitting here, I might come at you, and it might not be so nice, okay? But I'm being straight with you. That's what we're after the truth, okay?
I understand that.
And
I want the truth.
It stinks. It just doesn't look good, man. You know.
Believe me,
like he's saying, you know, sometimes wives, girlfriends can get under a man's skin. And here, you know, I think about this, and I don't pretend to understand how personable that, or how much of a personal attack you as an African American would take the N-word thrown at you, especially from your wife and your stepdaughter.
Man, I've gotten it from
You've been drinking, you get there, the time frame is really tight, and you're arguing. She's pissed off because you're drinking and whatever else, correct? And maybe she throws that word at you one more time, and that's just enough to set you off. I got to consider that, right?
That's not what happens. She's called me that several times. I've dealt with people calling me that all the time. Sometimes I respond, sometimes I don't, but you know, as a black man, if you respond every time somebody treats you that way or acts that way, I'd be behind bars.
No, listen, I hope that I'm wrong, okay? But sit where I'm sitting, you have to take a hard look at that, right?
I don't even know, take a hard look at what. You guys haven't shared anything with me.
Well, there's things we can't share with you about the investigation, okay? If this goes a different direction, and it comes to a point where we can share it with you, I'll be happy to.
Yep.
Believe me. As a husband, you have a right to know that if you're not responsible for this. But I'm not convinced of that yet.
No. We got to make sure.
I'm just being honest with you.
And we should have answers pretty damn soon.
Like I said, sit where I'm sitting. The last time you were there for 20 plus minutes, okay?
Because after that, how long I was there.
Because we know.
I know.
I told you, we got pieces of this puzzle already.
Listen to me.
How y'all gonna tell me something that I don't know?
I know. We know.
Yeah, this is why I asked.
Listen, no, you know. Again, you don't have to answer any more questions. I'm just telling you. That's where we're at. And give us a minute. And you want some more water?
Am I stuck here, or can I go home?
We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you home.
We're gonna get you right.
We're gonna get you home.
Can I at least wait downstairs? Can I get my phone?
It's going to be a couple minutes.
Yeah,
Okay?
just give
us a couple
We'll
minutes.
get you right out of here. You want some more water in the meantime?
Yeah.
Be right back in.
Please have my cell phone while I'm away.
Yeah, you want to try sitting in this chair instead of that one? It might be a little easier on you because it is at least softer than that hard chair.
Is that better?
Better?
A little bit better.
Hang in there, okay?
You've invoked your right to talk to an attorney, so we're not going to ask you any more questions. But I did want to ask you, what would you say if we asked you to consent for us to get a buccal swab, which is for DNA purposes, which is like a cotton swab of your cheek? Is that something you would do?
They've already done that.
Who?
When I got arrested.
We have to do it each time. I know. It seems like that should be enough, but it's not.
No, I'm telling you, this type of investigation, what happens is that's called a standard. So the evidence that we have in this particular case is compared to that standard. That's why we'd ask you not, because we know that you give one when you're arrested like that, and that goes into the system. That would be our purposes.
Is that something you'd be willing to do?
I just want to help y'all stop looking at me like a suspect.
Is that something? It's all I'm asking, yes or no. Is that something you would do?
Is that something that I should talk to a lawyer about first? Or?
I can't give you legal advice. So I'm just asking you.
I want to help, but the way I tried to help earlier, y'all turned on me. And y'all turned on me fast. I understand you guys have a job you have to do, but me trying to help out made me feel like I'm just killing myself and I didn't do anything.
Right.
And we don't mind telling you, if that's true, then it'll bear out in the investigation.
Yep.
I mean, like I say, I want to help. Then me talk to my attorney, and I'd say I would do it tomorrow. You know, I'm not trying to hide anything. I ain't nothing to hide.
No, listen, that's your right. You can consult with your counsel and let us know.
And you got my number. If something changes tomorrow, you can call me. I'll be at work.
Yeah,
we can knock that out. Okay.
I'm not trying to hide anything. I just.
No, listen. We don't take it personal. It's perfectly acceptable where you're sitting, and we did ask you some hard questions, and it's a big investigation. So
my back's against the wall.
It's not totally it's not like we don't understand that you want to consult with your attorney. That's your right. That's fine. That's our system of justice, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it's fine.
All right. Thank you.
What they're doing there, and it's, I don't know if it's an issue or not, they're just checking that no contact order to make sure that's not still active, blah, blah, blah. We have to do that, okay? As soon as we get word on that, if that's good to go, we'll get you in the car and get you out of here. But I at least want to tell you, we're required to at least make sure.
I was told that the no contact order. She's tried to get them to stop that.
And she may have.
She's tried, like she's gone to the state attorney's office. She was at my court hearing.
Right.
She said everything. She wants to get lifted.
And she may have.
And then they said that since the charges weren't filed, the no contact order doesn't exist.
And that sounds right. We just got to verify it. So I know you're in pain, so hang in there. I'm not going to keep you any longer than we absolutely have to. Just make sure we're above board here and doing what we got to do.
I was trying to be honest with y'all.
I hope so. And we appreciate it. I hope you understand where we're coming from.
No, believe me, I do. I just trying to be honest about everything and then have to sit overnight because of that.
And I don't know that that's going to be the case at all. I don't know that that's going to be the case. bathroom?
No, I was just wondering how long.
Yeah, working as fast as we can. Okay.
Am I under arrest?
I can't tell you that yet. I don't know. We're trying to verify that no contact order, so just hang loose. As soon as I know something, I'll let you know one way or the other.
Something, because sitting in this chair, I need to lay down.
Do you want to lay on the floor? I mean, you're welcome to do that. It's the best I can offer you right now.
There's no blanket or nothing.
I'll look in this cabinet back here. I don't know if we have anything. Let me look.
You help up? I gotta get some photographs of you. How you want to do this?
Ouch.
There you go.
What hurts on you? Your back?
My hip.
Hip? Want us to help you?
I gotta bend this first.
Just tell us when.
I might be able to get it.
You want some help, man?
Ready?
Just get it.
Okay, I'll just have you stand right there. Do a couple overall clothes. Look up. Okay, I need you, if we can, one at a time we'll do. I need your hands, and we're going to do both sides of them. So if you can bring them closer together for me, and down a little bit, because I'm short. Okay, and then flip them over, and we'll do the same thing. And let me take a look at them. Flip them back over. Okay, and then back over again. Okay, and
Top of the back of his head. You got.
yeah, let's have him sit down.
Which one you want? The cushion or?
There you go. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of your head now. Nope. Hold it still. Back down, please. Okay.
Pictures of all my wounds.
Yep. Is that from the crash too?
Everything's from the crash.
Okay. And this arm. Oh, one. Okay. And your knee.
There's that one there. That there.
Just gonna move this a second. Okay, and then one last thing. I'll just have you pick your shirt up, lift your shirt up, so you get your chest. Okay, that'll work too. Okay, and then lean forward so I can get your back. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Spencer, you're under arrest for the murder of your wife. I need you to put your arms out in front of you. I'll handcuff you up front. Okay?
Why am I under arrest?
Because I have probable cause to believe that you murdered your wife.
What probable cause?
It'll be in my probable cause affidavit. Okay. A patrol unit will be over to take you over and book you into the jail.
For what?
Murder.
What evidence?
It'll all be in my document. Okay?
You can't, you've sat there and you told me I've tried to be helpful, I've tried to talk about everything.
I understand. I have evidence that leads me to believe that there's probable cause that you killed your wife.
Probable cause.
Yes. So a patrol unit will be over to take you and book you into jail. Okay?
Can I at least call my lawyer? Can I at least...
You'll have an opportunity to get a lawyer. You'll have an opportunity to make phone calls from the jail, okay?
Can I please call my mom? That's all I'm asking.
You'll be able to call her from the jail. Okay?
She works for the paper, is that right? I'll go with Detective Love here. I think she has her number. And see if we can just reach out to her, at least let her know what's going on.
Yep.
I'll do that for you, okay?
Probable cause that didn't kill my wife, man.
Alright. Hang tight.
Can I at least lay back down?
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. You need help laying down? Huh?
I can't go anywhere. Are these necessary right now? I can.
I have to, yeah. You're gonna have to be on.
I'll get down somehow.
You need help?
No.
You sure?
I tried to help out and look what it got me.
Spencer Sanders was found guilty by a jury on September 13th, 2019, of first-degree premeditated murder and was sentenced to life in prison for the murder charge and received a concurrent sentence of 15 years for added charges.